Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors episode 537. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by viable human Chris Saturn.
As always.
Hi. Hi, Saturn.
Hi, Justin.
We do have, I think a bit of housekeeping is in order.
Oh.
I wanted to mention, you've been on like crazy overtime at work, so I'm sure
Yes.
you're just mentally drained.
I am, yeah.
And I'm on multiple new mental health related medications, so
good.
I'm weird.
Mentally drained.
I think no, I mean my mood is great, but it's been a weird couple weeks for people that have never taken medications for depressions and anxieties.
Mhm.
They take a few weeks to really kind of start working, and in
It's
those
true.
weeks you get a different variety of side effects that come and go as your body adjusts to new serotonin and dopamine levels in your
Yeah.
brain and stuff. So all this to say, it's just been weird.
Yeah.
And of course, it's all immediately on the back of my vasectomy.
Right.
Like I got the vasectomy, and then like 1 week later, I went in and she slapped me with a whole bunch of new drugs.
That's good.
So I think both of us may or may not be in an odd headspace
Well,
tonight.
At least she didn't slap you in the dick with new drugs, because that just
That's
got
true.
worked
That would have
on.
been extra painful.
Yeah.
Would have been extra
Yeah.
painful. I was a little alarmed because I went in. I got a new GP, and I went into her, and I was like, "Hey, just so y'all know, for your records, I got a vasectomy a couple weeks ago." And she was like, "Okay, yeah, well, we'll notate that." And she goes, "You're still not lifting anything or working out or anything, right?" And I was in my head, I'm like, I started doing that after like 7 days. Should
Yeah.
I not? And I'm like, should I not be doing that? Oh God, oh no! I hope I didn't destroy my testicles. I don't know. It all worked out.
That's good.
Anyway.
You didn't rip your wanger out or anything?
No, it's all
That's
everything's still there.
Okay, good.
It's great. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that in case I feel like every time I'm like, in case we're weird, and everyone's like, it was a normal show. So I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Turns
what
out
normal
we're
is
just
anymore.
always weird, and we don't notice it.
Varying levels of weird. The margin of error, we'll call it the margin of weirdness, is so wide
Yeah.
that no one can really tell when it's like, hey, is this especially weird or not?
Right.
My week.
Mhm.
I'm doing the Halloween stuff. Of course, I have a child, and so that means Halloween is not just on October 31st. It's like 9 times throughout the month of October.
That sounds great to
And-
me.
So we went to Denton to see the Halloween stuff. Denton they do a big,
Yeah.
they decorate the whole like town square and stuff, and it was pretty
Mhm.
cool. And I like going to Denton; they got cool shit there. But we went with some of my in-laws, and it was not trying to be nice. They're not awesome people to walk around with. They're all
no.
kind of aging and in various states of healthfulness.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so it's just kind of sucks. But while we're there, they're like, "Hey, there's an arcade. Let's go in the arcade." And I had seen this arcade. It's in the square in Denton, and it's like this tiny little shop. And I had seen it before, and I was like, "That looks like one of those barcades that's got like 4 machines, and then it's just a bar."
Mhm.
But I was like, "Fuck it, we're here. Let's go in. The kids can play games at least." And we go in, and it's a pretty cool arcade. It's got
Nice.
some really good stuff. And I'm looking around, and immediately we get in the door, and I realize that everything. The name of the place is Free Play, but for whatever reason, it didn't occur to me that everything would be on Free Play, and it is. So you just pay like $12 for a wristband, and everything's you just go up to it and play.
Nice.
So immediately I go and I play. They have the full 3-screen Darius.
Nice.
And so I play around to that. They had the full 2-person sit-down Daytona USA.
Nice.
I played some 1943, and then they're like, "Hey, let's go downstairs." Because I was like, "This is cool, but it's pretty small." They go, "Hey, let's go downstairs," and I was like, "I didn't know there was a downstairs." We go downstairs, and it's this massive fucking basement. It's humongous, and it is just arcade machines end to end. And I mean, there's some shit in here that I didn't even know they had machines for.
Yeah.
Like I saw a full upright Tatsunoko versus Capcom machine.
Nice.
I didn't know that even got an arcade release.
Not in the U.S., I don't think.
Yeah, and so a lot of the stuff is like this isn't just them getting arcade machines. They are maintaining these. Like I know that some of these machines are so old and or so rare, and everything is in working order, all of it. And so I'm like, these people are actively repairing and maintaining these machines for them to be in this condition. So immediately I go to a row of candy cabs, and I play Magical Drop 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Salamander 2. They had the big top-down Pac-Man Battle Royale. Played a bunch of pinball, played a D&D Tower of Mystara, which I've never seen a machine for. I mean, I know we had it here,
Right.
But that one, you don't see that one very often. But incredible, they had a huge row of pinball machines. They had all the new Stern pinball machines, like the new Ninja Turtles one they just came out with, I think it came out with the new Jurassic Park one. And it was crazy. So I got to teach my daughter and her cousin how to play pinball. So they played pinball for a long time. And I was so blown away by this arcade. I was like, this isn't just a good arcade. This is possibly the best arcade I've ever been in as far as just maintenance level of stuff. Everything works. The selection of games includes a lot of really rare shit.
Nice. And
the bathroom, the stall, in case you need to take a shit, is its own separate entire room.
Thank God.
So I'm like, this place is amazing. This is the greatest place I've ever been. And we're there for about 30 minutes, and they're like, let's go. And I was like, no, I will not leave the arcade. But here's the problem. I've stopped carrying my phone with me.
Right.
Because I'm trying to just... I don't know. I hate my phone. I think at this stage in society, everyone hates their phone. We all hate our phones. And I was like, if I hate this thing, I'm not going to take it with me. So I don't have a phone with me.
Yeah.
I got a watch and a notepad. And so I'm like, shit, if they leave, it's so crowded in the square in Denton that like, we got to figure out times and places where I'm going to be. So I'm like, damn, I can't just like hang out here for the rest of the time we're in Denton and call them when I'm done.
Right.
So I get like 20 more minutes because I'm like, all right, y'all are going to this store and this store. Meet me at this store, and I'll be there by 3 o'clock. And so I play for a few more minutes, and then I have to go. But if anyone's ever in Denton, Texas, the free play arcade in the square there is incredible.
I was looking it up. Apparently, they have 3 other locations.
They do. They've got another one in Dallas that I tried to go to, but they don't open until later in the day. And I don't know where the third one is.
Well, they've got Richardson, Arlington, Dallas, and Denton.
Okay, so I don't know if the other ones are as good as this one. This one was amazing. I asked Courtney. I was like, "Do you have something to write with?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I need to write down some of these machines I'm playing." And I wanted to write down because there was some stuff. There was like 4 or 5 machines that I was like, I didn't even know this.
If you'd had
a
your
machine.
phone, you could have just taken pictures of them.
I shut up, Saturn. I hate my phone. And so oh man, it was awesome. It was so awesome. I had so much fun. I cannot wait to go back. I was already like, I got to get like Saturn and Andrew and Guy, and like we got to go like hang out in this arcade. This is really awesome. I also did the bad thing, and I gave EA money.
Oh no!
I know.
How'd you do that?
It's well, the new Battlefield came out,
and you really wanted EA's new owners to have some money.
And I like Battlefield a lot. I really loved Battlefield 1940, whatever, 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever number it was. Battlefield 2, I love the Bad Company games, and it came out, and I was like, oh man, it looks good. It got good reviews, and everyone's like, oh, the triumphant return of Battlefield. And I was like, man, I want that. And then Andrew got it, and it had crossplay, and I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. And, I got a friend playing it. I really want to, I'll give him some fucking money.
What platform did you get it on?
I got it on PS5.
Okay.
Just because that's what I'm playing a lot of lately, and so that's where I bought it at.
Probably for the best, because I've heard some unhappy things about its DRM on PC.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is I was like, I don't know what the fuck EA's doing for DRM or EA Origin or shit on PC, but I don't want to fuck with any of that.
Yeah, apparently it has some kernel level things where it requires secure boot turned on.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's scary to me.
And I want to say this, first of all, if you're a Battlefield person like I am, it's a great Battlefield. The game itself, really fun. I play a medic, and I get to run around healing people, and I like that, and it's fun. It's if you like Battlefield games, it's a really fun Battlefield game. And it's like EA has done everything they can to fuck it up. I've had more crashes, hard locks, games not loading, shit
Nice.
not working right, UI stuff laying over other UI stuff in this PS5 game than any other PS5 game I've ever played.
Score.
Also, anytime I put my PS5 in rest mode, if I bring it back, it puts me in a party with nobody, makes me not the leader, so I can't start any activities. So I have to fully close the game every time I turn my PlayStation off.
Nice.
It's been 2 weeks. It has not been patched. They've not fixed any of this. So once you get in the game and you're actually running around playing stuff, really fun Battlefield. But fuck, man. Like,
Can
who fucking...
you not just exit the game before you put your system in sleep mode?
That's what I've had to start doing, but it's just like a little extra annoying step to have to do. And the way I play it is it's kind of been my like, hey, I've got 30 minutes before I got to be somewhere. I don't want to go jump into Cold Steel or something else. I'll play one round of Battlefield, and then that's kind of been my little filler game these last couple weeks. And anything that adds another minute or two of having to do shit is just an extra annoyance in those moments, you know?
Fair.
But I've been enjoying it. It's once you're in the game, it's fine. But holy shit, man. Also, right now there is not a cash shop or loot boxes that I've seen. So kudos. I guess they didn't want this game to be ethical and fun like their other games. Kudos to the launch version of the game. I'm sure they're going to add the shit eventually because it's EA.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a new Battlefield, and there are guns.
You shoot at
I honestly don't even take my gun out a lot of matches because I'm such a bad shot. There's kind of no point. I just run around. The medics, you get those little defibrillator paddles, you know, and so I just run around holding those, zapping people.
That's how it works in real life.
Right, yeah, and just in real life, you get shot in the face and someone defibrillates you through Kevlar and you come back to life.
Yeah, that's like
I
magic.
mostly do that. Also, you can fly a drone, so a lot of times I'll just hide behind a dumpster and fly a drone around the battlefield.
If they're going to do something as unrealistic as just shocking people with defibrillators on the battlefield, why not just give you a magic healing gun?
I would love that. Like Team Fortress 2, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What gets me is you can resurrect anybody, but it's like a really long. It's like a 6-7 second long process. And you like stab them with like a needle thing. It's like an adrenaline thing. And like, is it realistic? No, but it's more realistic than zapping them through Kevlar with a defibrillator. But yeah, it's Battlefield. I've been enjoying it. I played some with Andrew. And I really
set
wish
up a
they
macro so that you can swift cast before you raise.
Right.
That way you don't have to wait for 7 seconds.
/target assault team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really wish I'm so fucking annoyed. I don't know. It's like whoever programmed the UI and the infrastructure behind the actual gameplay. What the fuck, man? Sometimes it'll just go to load a game. It'll get me there and it'll put me in the screen where it's like, where do you want to spawn? But it gives me no UI. And I'm like, how have you fucked this up this bad?
Nice.
If there's anything you should be able to do, it's fucking UI. Like, what is happening?
No, that's complicated.
But yeah. What you been playing, Saturn?
So I finished the campaign, the first run in Silent Hill F.
Will there be more runs?
So it only gives you so much story in the first run. You have to play New Game Plus to get the whole story.
I see. All right.
I have thoughts.
Oh no!
About
you were already. I guess a good term would be lukewarm. You're kind of lukewarm on it. You liked some bits, but you weren't sold on other bits.
So
sounds.
This is so. You got into emulation later than me. But there was this time period in the late 90s and early 2000s when you couldn't just download every ROM. You had to go to websites and like. You'd find Greg's Emulation Paradise. Yeah. And Greg would have his list of favorite Game Boy ROMs. And you could download Greg's favorite Game Boy ROMs. And he would have
10 ROMs that he dumped or whatever. Yeah.
And he would have like his list of 10 Game Boy ROMs, and you'd have Kirby, and you'd have Mario Land, and Mario Land 2, and Metroid, and Sonic 5. And you'd be like, Sonic 5 isn't a game. And if it were a game, it wouldn't be on Game Boy. But I have to find out what this is. So then you would download Sonic 5 and you would load it up and the title screen would be in a language you don't understand.
Right. And it'd be Super Mario Land 2, but with Sonic laid over the Mario sprite or whatever.
Well, it'd be some game that only ever released in Taiwan in 1993, and it kind of feels like Sonic, but it's obviously not Sonic. And you're playing it for a little while, and you're like, I can see why somebody who doesn't know what this is would think maybe this is related to Sonic. And it's not a bad game, but it's not Sonic. And then you learn that it's actually some game you've never heard of. That's how this feels to Silent Hill to me. It feels like somebody took a pretty good horror game that they found on a ROM site, and they don't know what it is, and they don't speak its language, and it kind of feels like Silent Hill, but it's not Silent Hill, and that's how it feels to me.
There's fog and it's spooky. Silent Hill, you made it. It's there. It is.
Which is fine because it's a fine game. It's a fine horror game. It does some okay things. It doesn't have the same like tone to Silent Hill to me throughout the entire game. I didn't ever get that like incredibly oppressive tone that I normally get from Silent Hill. I didn't get the whole supernatural dread that I normally get in Silent Hill. It's fine, but what got me was the combat got worse.
I know. Worse.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're having issues with it. It was kind of Souls-likey with dodge rolls and stuff like that.
And focus attacks and parries and all that stuff that I did not care for.
God, I hate parrying. At least in Dark Souls, you can just slap on some gigantic armor and have a gigantic tower shield, not have to stress so much about it. But so, I gather that wasn't much of a option in this.
And also, you've got the weapon durability throughout the game.
Yeah.
So you're constantly having to deal with that as well.
So your least favorite parts of Breath of the Wild and Dark Souls smushed into your most favorite game series.
Yeah, and then you encounter this enemy later in the game that I thought was a boss until it became recurring. And the mild spoiler, one of the themes of the game is
butts.
Yeah, it's butts. It's dealing with growing up and becoming a woman because you play as a woman protagonist, and so it's all of her like anxieties and fears about growing up and becoming a woman. So one of the enemies looks like two figures on top of each other, and one is clearly in birthing position.
All right.
And it spawns eggs that then turn into other enemies.
Okay.
And I call this enemy Oops All Boobies because it's supposed to be like covered in cysts that like spawn into other enemies, but they look like boobs to me. So it's just Oops All Boobies. Don't look it up. It's very creepy looking. Anyway,
I'm a little creeped out hearing about it.
Yeah. So anyway, this enemy keeps spawning enemies, and the enemies that it spawns are just the regular enemies that you fight throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have regular enemy health bars.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like it's a bunch of like little ads that spawn along that you just take out real quickly. No, it's like normal ass enemies that you just also have to fight. And whenever you encounter it, especially late in the game, it locks you in the room until you kill all the enemies. So you can't even like run. You just have to kill them all.
It's just a combat arena.
Right. It's a combat gauntlet. And so you're forced to kill this thing and all of the things that spawn. So you have the stress of, I have to kill this thing quickly. And if you don't kill it quickly enough, you're doubling or tripling the time that you're in this room as more and more things spawn in.
Yeah.
And it really just reinforced how much I don't like the combat system in the game.
Yeah.
And so it was unpleasant. And in the end areas of the game, you encounter many of them in a row.
Mm.
And each time it locks you in the room and is like, kill them all before you can progress. And
at what point do you just say, I don't like this game?
That's kind of where I'm at now.
I think it sounds like that's where you've landed.
Because I'm at the end of the game, and I tried to restart the game from the beginning to see if I could force myself through New Game Plus. Because you start with all your health upgrades and other stuff, which also doesn't feel very Silent Hill to me, but whatever. So you get your health upgrades and your sanity upgrades and your stamina upgrades and everything. Also, it has a stamina meter, and I don't like that anyway.
Yeah, soulsy, very
Yeah.
soulsy.
So I started New Game Plus, and I was like, all right, let's see if I can enjoy it from the beginning. With the beginning, maybe I'll have gotten better at the combat and be able to enjoy it.
Right.
And when you start the New Game Plus, because when you start the game the first time you encounter an enemy, you don't even have a weapon. It's just like run away and survive.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can do this. I can ignore the combat system. But instead on New Game Plus, before you encounter that first enemy, there's a weapon sitting there.
Oh, no.
And it's like, guess what? You just get to start the combat immediately. And I was like, I don't like that. And the first enemy that you encounter is hiding behind a partition in a wall, and it jump scares you with a scream. And I'm like, I don't like that either. None of this is what I like about Silent Hill. What is going on here? And so I was immediately upset starting the game as well. So I was like, no, I need to just step away. And so I just looked up the other endings on YouTube, and I was like, those are all right. They're fine.
Yeah.
So I think overall my opinion of the game is okay horror game, pretty okay story, doesn't feel like Silent Hill, and the combat is just hot ass.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man.
I don't like that at all.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, let's do some news. Maybe
Okay.
maybe it'll cheer you up.
Yeah, maybe it'll be not hot ass.
I don't know about that. First up, Remedy CEO Tero Virtala stepped down due to poor reception of FBC Firebreak, their first self-published title, which that sucks.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's a bummer,
I did not buy the game. I have no interest in it because it's a
Same.
team shooter, and
Same.
that's not what I go to Remedy for. So
Nope. Retro Reset, a UK-based non-profit, has retrofitted an old school bus into a vintage computing museum,
That's
which
really
is
neat
pretty
looking.
fun. It's
Yeah.
a fun thing.
Right.
Hacking group Crimson Collective has taken credit for a big data breach at Nintendo, reportedly took a bunch of assets and developer interviews, and a
Developer
maybe
previews.
related... Do what? Oh,
Developer
pardon me.
previews.
Previews.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stole those interviews. A possibly related leak occurred the following day with assets from Game Freak projects through 2026.
Yeah.
So there you go. All
So
out.
if
in
you're
the open.
spoiler sensitive, watch out.
Yeah, because it's out there.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco has announced a new Resident Evil 2 arcade game, which that's weird. Cool.
Yeah, all that
Exciting.
everything in that sentence is weird, but maybe it'll be all right. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be first of all $5 to play it.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. There's been a couple of it's been a few now Resident Evil light gun games, and they're all pretty fun. And I imagine that's what this is going to be. So
yeah,
it
I
could
hope.
be all right.
I hope. Target, Walmart, and Microsoft have all refuted previous reports that they're removing Xbox products from retailers. This is on the back of, I think, Microsoft saying the same thing of like, no, we're not pulling out of retail. And so this all seems like possibly just a lot of hand wringing.
Yeah, and I did end up at a Walmart the day after that article, which don't do that. If you can avoid Walmart, you should do that.
It's the worst.
But I went and looked, and they do still have their Xbox case. They've got equal sized PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox cases. The Switch case is just jam packed full of games. The PlayStation case is pretty full. Like you everything is in there. The Xbox case is spaced out so much that a row that is like 8 games on the PlayStation case is 3 games on the Xbox case.
Yeah.
So technically not removed.
I do think, and we've kind of been saying it, but like something is going to change with Xbox and Microsoft. Something's changing. I don't know.
Yes.
A strategy, a product lineup, some the retail agreements, like something is shifting.
Yeah.
It has to.
Right. I don't know
and also,
what the final outcome is going to look like yet, but
yeah, we don't know what it's going to be, but something's different. I don't think it's them yanking the plug on everything.
Yeah.
Because that's not how things work anymore. Everything must be milked until it dies and then resurrected and milked again until it dies. And then you do that about 15 more times and then you reboot
until the
it.
investors complain and then you shift strategy to get them more money.
And then maybe after, Disney buys you, it might shut down 20 years later.
Yeah.
And that's
somebody
just
had
how...
posted a story about apparently Microsoft has some grossly unrealistic expectations about Xbox Division's profit margins compared to the rest of the industry. So, yeah.
I think Xbox as a brand is going to bear a lot of the weight of sins from Copilot being a complete and utter failure.
Yeah.
I think is what's going to happen. They're going to
And
have to take it out
possibly
somewhere, and they can't take it out on Copilot because that's
Right.
AI, and AI is the future. So they got to take it out somewhere.
Yeah,
and
and they can't blame the Windows division for potentially hemorrhaging some users. So
yeah, absolutely not.
No.
Anbernick reveals a sub $100 RGDS handheld emulation device, which I'm excited to see. I still have DSs and hacked 3DSs, so I don't need it, but I'm excited to see this out there because that's something that the market needs.
Yeah, we need more of these devices for when the DS consoles all eventually die.
Yeah. Play on Replay, which is spelled terribly, probably so they can trademark that name.
Right.
And Atari are re-releasing several vintage Atari 2600 and 7800 games, all compatible with the 2600 Plus and 7800 Plus consoles, and retailing for £24.99 sterling, which is really cool. We're getting a port of Dig Dug, Galaga, and Xevious on 7800. The original Atari 2600 port of Pac-Man bundled with an all-new, more faithful 7800 port of Pac-Man. Yeah. Which would be the only way to sell 2600 Pac-Man anyway.
Right,
because it sucks so much.
Oh, yeah, it's real bad. But that's neat.
That's cool.
I appreciate that. Play on Replay is a division of Play On, which is a division of Embracer Group.
Oh, okay.
This is the Play On is what used to be Koch Media, which was the parent company of Deep Silver.
Oh, yeah. I know that one. I know that one. Banjo-Kazooie director Greg Mayles has left Rare after 36 years.
That's a long time with the company.
That is a long-ass time. Really long-ass time. What is going on with Banjo-Kazooie? Is that property dead? There's so much love for it, and they're just like, nah, we're not going to fucking do that anymore.
Well,
you get nuts and bolts on 360 and then nothing.
It showed up in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, but I meant like a game. Like, when
no,
does you get another game?
Well, most of the people that made it had left years ago to make Yooka-Laylee.
That's true. We did get Yooka-Laylee and Yooka-Replay-Lee.
Yeah.
So, maybe it just lives on in that way.
Right.
GOG says they had to hire private investigators to track down the rights of several old games that they've re-released.
That's neat.
Which is amazing.
Right?
I love that they're doing this.
Seriously.
And it also points to how just fucking weird the games industry is. Yeah. Where you'll find out that like a company that makes an off-brand of Oreos also owns the rights to Milon's Secret Castle or some shit through some rights shifting around in the 80s. And you're like, oh, that's weird.
I mean, really, the entire media industry is like that. It's just this weird...
This is true.
Homunculus now.
This is very true. Also, the Capcom execs were apparently bewildered that people would want to play the original versions of the Resident Evil games when the remakes are out.
Yeah, they're so
Who
much
wants
better.
these old blocky games?
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
What is the deal with the Japanese executives being like, why do you want the old shit?
I don't know. I don't know why it is such a mystery over there, but
it's very strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just a much more forward thinking consumer market than we are. I wouldn't mind being a little less steeped in nostalgia with some of our things over here, though. So, that cuts both ways, I guess. The PC Engine Super CD-ROM version of Popful Mail is getting an English fan translation with an open casting call for the dub. So get ready, dust off your CV,
right?
And you can be in Popful Mail.
I'm pretty stoked about this because the Sega CD version of Popful Mail is one, it's working design, so the translation's a little weird. But also it's a very different game than what was on PC Engine and PC at the time. So I'm curious to see how this original version plays. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Multiple Psycho shmups were delisted on October 31st on various platforms. Includes Soul Divide, various Gunbirds, and Strikers 1945 titles, among others, which fucking sucks because those are really good games. We did an episode on Gunbird, I believe.
Yep. And if you're listening to the Uncut, you can still maybe get them. You've got a couple days.
Yep. Tomonobu Itagaki, director of Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden 2004 version, has tragically passed away at the age of 58.
That's very young.
There's been a lot of people speaking out about him in the industry. For people that didn't know much about him, he was kind of famous for shit talking other games.
And also being kind of a perv.
Yeah, but shit talking them in a loving way.
Yeah.
But it's very, very sad to hear about his passing.
Indeed.
Drama in the Doom modding scene regarding GZ Doom and the use of AI programming has caused the GZ Doom project to fork off after some big arguments broke out and people were like, this is bullshit. And then the guy that runs GZ Doom was like, then fork your own thing of it. And they're like, okay. And then they did.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Atari announced the Intellivision Sprint for $149. Does it use the Sprint cell network? Is it?
It connects
a phone?
to Sprint PCS.
Intellivision Sprint phone.
Murphy Brown shows up and drops a pin on it.
Oh, great! Awesome.
No, it's I do appreciate that Atari has owned Intellivision for maybe a year now, and they've already put out a console when Tommy Tallarico couldn't put one out in 10 years.
Yeah, well, his mom's very proud of him, and it's going to come out any day now.
Any day,
any minute now. We're gonna get the Tommy
non-Intellivision
special.
Amico. Yeah,
it's gonna be great. Just you wait, Saturn.
Any day,
wait
with cornhole.
And finally, EA used AI upscaling for the art in Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. Also, several bugs in the cheap Unity conversion based on the old Windows Phone port. Also, the bundled concept art is fake.
That's the part that gets me.
Just don't buy this version of the game, honestly. If the original is still available for now, go snag it. It's great. It really, I was excited for the idea of a remaster, but also it kind of doesn't super need one to still be a really fun game.
Right. And the fake concept art, man, that's it feels like a bridge too far.
Do you not own the concept art? Would you lose the
file?
No,
they don't.
Like,
the original artists who used to work there said that they volunteered the original concept art, and EA turned it down.
I saw the comparison shots, and it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. What the fuck is happening? What are you doing, EA? Fix your fucking Battlefield 6 UI and then release a good version of Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. Why you do this? Why?
The concept art included the disco zombie on it, who famously did not exist before the game came out.
Yeah. What's even more frustrating is why would it... You're EA. Why is it a shitty Unity port?
Right?
Why? Yeah. Why would you just make the fucking game?
Well, because the Windows Phone version was already in Unity, so just use that.
God. Which brings us to our topic at hand, which is Gradius Origins.
Yay.
Someone got their Gradius in my salamander, which sounds much grosser than it looked like it would sound when it was on the page. It's very gross sounding. This was developed by M2, published by Konami, released 2025, August 7th worldwide. And it is on Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and personal computers.
Yes.
You can get it in all of these places. In this one, you'd been hotly anticipating it, and I had been mildly anticipating it. And it came out, and you had already bought it on, I get the Steam, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so you bought it on Steam, so you lent me your physical PS5 copy so that I could then also play the game. So that would be my first encounter with this collection.
But I was pretty stoked about this, just because it's an M2 collection of several Gradius games, and I like a lot of these games. So I was all on board with this.
As far as development, Did You Know Gaming just did a video about the development of the game, including interviews with people at M2. So all of this information is from Did You Know Gaming's very good video that you should go watch, please.
Yeah.
I just took it straight from there because it was, one, sponsored by Konami, and two, again, included interviews with people at M2. So it's got information that was possibly not elsewhere.
Yeah.
I do want to mention whoever did the voice work for it called it Gradius the entire time. And I couldn't, every time I was like, I don't think that's right.
That sounds grody.
Gradius. Most of it was about the original Gradius game, which we've talked about a little bit. It was, of course, originally intended as a scramble sequel and reused some ideas and materials and stuff.
Yep.
The video also covers Kazuhisa Hashimoto converting the arcade version to home consoles and creating the infamous Konami code, which we've talked about dozens of times on the show. They also mention how important player choice was to the team, which led to the relatively complex power-up system for the first Gradius game. Really all the Gradius games, but for the time, very complex.
Right.
They mentioned that the power-up system was styled after the key of the row of function keys on a keyboard. And I was like, I don't. It just looks like a menu.
So a lot of early PC games of that time would have a menu similar to that at the bottom of the screen that would have that would be assigned to the function
be mapped
keys.
to the function row.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes you'd
That
even
makes
see a
sense.
little on-screen legend to say which function key did what. And it was especially weird for me because at the time the PC that I had was a C64 Commodore, and the function keys on the Commodore aren't at the top of the keyboard. They're off to the side of the keyboard.
So it doesn't map.
And function 2 is shift function 1 on a Commodore. So you would have this nice little row of menu options with a legend underneath it that would say F1, F2, F3. But then I would have to like hit these side keys with a shift button to hit them. So it was always very awkward for me as a Commodore kid. But yeah, I do see how it would have mapped to Gradius back in the day as a neat analogy there.
Yeah. They do talk about the art in the game. Originally, the game was designed to have an organic feel, which is obviously an idea that comes up in later and adjacent games in the franchise.
And Style but Life Force and stuff. Even the brain at the end of Gradius kind of has
it is,
feel.
yeah, a little organic, but it was, of course, reworked into a more mechanical design before the final game released. Time constraints are what led to the very weird final boss encounter in the first Gradius, which is just a brain that doesn't attack you or anything. Because apparently they ran out of time and they were literally just like, I don't know, put a fucking brain in there and you shoot it.
Right.
And so I think they just thought no one would make it that far, and they were probably correct.
Yeah, it was, I'm sure people did, but...
Sure, but not a lot.
Not humans.
Not a lot. Naoki Hori, president of M2, had wanted to work on Gradius for some time, which led to this collection coming about. They talk about how Salamander 2 almost didn't make the cut because it wasn't currently working on modern hardware. So kudos to M2 there, who were familiar with it from working on the PSP version.
Yeah.
Of I presume the Gradius collection, where Salamander 2,
yes.
I think that's where it was in that collection.
Yeah.
They do mention that unfortunately Gradius 4 didn't make the cut for similar reasons. It wasn't, there's not a currently working version on modern hardware, so it would have been a lot of extra work.
But they implied it could show up in a DLC down the line or something.
Yeah, but it wasn't too much work to make an entirely new Salamander game, I guess.
Yeah.
Which they were originally going to call Rebirth 2. It was going to be a sequel to the WiiWare Gradius Rebirth game.
Yeah, which M2 also made.
Which, weird. As usual, M2 did a lot of backbreaking work to make all the games included as accurate as possible, and included multiple versions of nearly every title in kind of their standard M2 fashion.
I'm a little sad that they didn't include Gradius Rebirth, though.
It seems like it would have been an easy include, especially seeing as how M2 did it, so it would make sense. But I don't know the technical tricks required to getting WiiWare games running on modern hardware.
Right. They probably would have had to do a full conversion of it.
Yeah. At the same time, it still doesn't seem like as much work as making an entirely new Salamander game. Honestly, at this point, it feels like the roster of either wholly or mostly original M2 arcade game sequels is getting rather large.
Yeah, right?
There are several games that they've either reworked or completely made new games out of.
And Salamander 3 feels like it's made in one of those old arcade engines. Like it feels like it could be emulated on MAME someday, which would be neat.
Yeah. But we will talk more specifically about Salamander 3 later. Saturn, why don't you take us through the games that are included in this collection, so we can kind of just talk about the collection as a whole. Obviously, the kind of main course here is really Salamander 3. That's what we mostly want to talk about, but it bears. We also have done Gradius before
yeah.
on the show. I think we did a series overview on Gradius. Did we do that?
so.
Or am I?
That sounds right.
No, we did Gradius 5.
And we did Salamander.
We did Salamander. So
Yeah.
we've covered a lot of this.
Yeah.
But go ahead and take us through the games that are in the collection.
So you got the original Gradius, and each of these has several flavors of the game. I'm not going to mention all of them, but I will mention the notable ones.
Yeah.
But the original Gradius, you've got the various localized versions of it. You got the North American prototype, and you have Versus Gradius, which is the NES version converted to Versus arcade hardware. You have to unlock that, but it is there. Notably to me, though, is the Japanese Bubble ROM version, which is my favorite version because it plays the morning music when you turn it on, and the morning music is amazing. Then you got Salamander, as well as its North American conversion Life Force, and you've also got the unlockable Power Capsule version, which I had never heard of before, but it's neat.
I've not heard of this either, and I didn't unlock this version.
Oh, yeah, it's neat. Then you have Life Force, the Japanese game, which is not the North American game Life Force, because the North American game Life Force is Salamander.
With Salamander, right.
This is the Japanese game Life Force, which is what the NES game Life Force is based on. All this is totally makes sense. Don't worry about it.
Right. It's Rambo 2: First Blood, and then the first movie is called First Blood.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Gradius 2, as well as its North American version, Vulcan Venture. You got Gradius 3, as well as the Japanese AM show prototype version, which had never previously been released. And I believe this is actually just a new hack of Gradius 3 made to resemble the AM show version, if I gathered it correctly. Then you have Salamander 2, which also includes a unreleased worldwide localization of Salamander 2, which is neat. And then you got Salamander 3, which we will talk about in a minute.
Yeah. So it as far as the collection itself,
yeah.
I didn't notate which one doesn't have it, but some of the games have like training modes,
right,
for specific versions of the game.
Yeah.
And the training modes are really great. I love those.
I wish more shmups included that.
Yeah, it's a bit different per game, and it works different. I'm just kind of upset that not all the ROMs support this mode, even within the games that do have it.
Right.
I think it's useful for perfecting certain sections. It basically lets you loop sections of these games and automatically rewind or restart when you die. Which is great for like learning the sections. If you're the kind of person that's not like me, who's just going to jam in as many digital quarters as it takes to beat it, you're like, no, I want to actually learn the level and learn the tricks. Fantastic thing to have, but not in all of them.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a bummer. Like I'm glad they had it.
Yeah.
I also watched a video, and there seemed to be some mode, I couldn't find it, where they showed a mode that had showed hitboxes. And I couldn't figure out which game had that or how to enable that, or if it was something that maybe was showed off and then didn't exist, or I don't know where that came from. But I think it was the Did You Know Gaming video, they were just playing B-roll of the collection, and I swear I saw a clip of something that had hitboxes showing on screen, and I desperately wanted to figure that out because hitboxes are always really interesting to me.
Yeah, I didn't find that myself either. Maybe that was part of their development footage.
Yeah. There are, of course, save states, which are kind of mandatory.
Right, yeah.
There is rewind, which I don't know. I use rewind the most because pausing to go to a save state because you can't hotkey it is just kind of too slow for games this fast.
Right.
But the rewind here is a little touchy for me. I don't know if you had that same
I thought it was
issue.
Okay.
I just wish it was a little more granular because specific, like especially some of these games are just some of them are just straight up unfair. They're just mean ass games.
Yeah.
And there are moments where it's like, man, I was gonna do my 1 credit run using ample amounts of rewind, and I can't quite granularly get it to where I'm not losing 20 seconds of a level, which was a little annoying. But it does what it's supposed to do. It does the rewind, you know. You were excited about the on-screen indicators.
Yes, I love that.
I like that they did it. It looks nice to have like all of your power-up status and everything on the edges of the screen. But there's
and
no
to know
planet.
when you can use the bombs and to know like what level of speed up you're at and everything. That's really neat to me.
There's no planet on which I have the ability to play Gradius and look at a thing. I cannot.
I'm pretty good with peripherals. I can still see it there.
No, I'm like hyper focused in. It could blink in and out of existence randomly as I'm playing, and I wouldn't even fucking know it's there. I'd be like, I have no idea. They do have a few filters. They got a couple of decent CRT filters. It's nothing too deep or specific, but you know, if you're the kind of person that likes scan lines, and I do on old arcade games like this, then they look, you know, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
As far as the collection as a whole, I think this is a really great collection that includes just a humongous amount of Gradius.
Yeah.
I'm a little annoyed at the lack of more training modes. Like, I want all of the stuff to have this in every game. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. I'm sure there were some technical limitations and stuff that they were running into, and time constraints and things like that. I do find it frustrating that they saw fit to add training, easy, and invincible modes to the games that they put in the collection, but not to the completely new game that they developed for the collection.
Yeah, that was a little annoying.
It seems like it'd be really easy for them to add that to the game that they built from the ground up.
It feels like they wanted people to be able to finish all of the classic games, but with the new game, they're like, no, you got to work for this one.
Yeah, it feels a little. I was a little upset. I was like, "Where's my easy mode or my invincible or my training mode for Salamander 3? It's not fucking here."
On the other hand, it does let you just have unlimited credits, so you can brute force your way through the game.
Which is fine. It's fine.
You just can't do it with your power-ups the entire time like you can on the others.
I'm just frustrated they would introduce these new learning tools and they'd be so limited, you know?
Right.
The emulation is top-notch. There's likely no better place to experience the games represented here.
Yeah, I agree.
But as a collection, it feels a little... I think everything there is great.
Yeah.
It's a little inconsistent where maybe the game that you're most excited about doesn't have some of the new features that you're most excited about.
Yeah. Or maybe you have to play a different version of the game to get to those features or whatever.
To get to the features, yeah, which is a little weird.
A little weird, yeah.
A little weird feeling.
I will say it's probably the best collection of Gradius games thus far.
It's got to be, yeah.
It's a little sad that Gradius 4 and 5 didn't make the cut, but I can kind of understand why, just because of technical limitations or whatever.
They're bigger, much more complicated games, especially with Gradius 4 running on whatever weird fucking hardware. Like, Gradius 5 at least was on PS2, which is a pretty known quantity. Gradius 4 was on whatever bizarre shit.
I mean, there was also a PS2 port of Gradius 4 that's pretty faithful.
Oh, yeah, there wasn't there? Well, then I don't know. They could have done it. I think they could have done it. Yeah. They just didn't want to. I think in my head, I'm like, if you included Gradius 4 and 5, and this was a $60 collection, I'd kind of be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know,
as it is,
it's $40. But I wouldn't have been upset at a $60 Ultimate Gradius collection.
Well, I think $40 is for the physical. I think the digital is cheaper than that.
Oh, is it? I don't know why I thought it was $40. Well, even better then. Let's talk Salamander 3. Because this is sort of the main attraction, I think, for both of us coming into this.
Oh, never mind.
Although
$40 either way, my bad.
I don't know that I had played Salamander 2 before this collection.
I tried it on Saturn.
And weirdly enough, I played it in an arcade before then playing it in this collection because I was at that arcade.
Yeah.
Man, really cool game.
Oh, yeah.
Mean as hell.
Yes.
So mean.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so mean.
The Saturn version is slightly nicer, but only slightly.
Oh my God, it's such a mean game. But also, it has kind of a weird Darius feel to it. Where there's kind of these weird polygonal creatures that pop out sometimes that look like strange bosses, very strange bosses.
Very similar to Gradius 4 in that regard, too.
Yeah. So let's talk Salamander 3.
Yeah.
As far as new features, it includes a burst mode.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really understand. It seems to essentially be a bomb that uses up your current power-up.
I completely forgot that it existed until I finished the game.
I looked it up in the manual, and it just is like, press square to burst mode, and I'm like, what is that? What is it? What is that?
So it is kind of a bomb thing, but it's dependent on what weapon you have. So depending on which laser you have, it does a different thing. And it's basically just like a super attack.
Yeah, and it seems to use up that power up.
Right.
Yeah, so you use it, and then that power up is now gone.
I believe so, yeah.
Which I don't know. I used it mostly. I used it to stop death spirals because in Salamander games, you die and all of your power ups shoot to the far end of the screen. You have to go grab them before your invincibility goes away. So I would pop on screen, burst mode, and then try to grab my power ups because you can burst mode as just your regular Vulcan cannon or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As far as like being a bomb, it didn't really function. It was just kind of a weird. It didn't feel effective enough to be a bomb, but it also. I don't know. I didn't use it very much either. I used it a couple times. Collecting multiple of the same weapon increases its power, like on the PC Engine port of Salamander, which is cool. I think,
Yeah.
What is it? What do they got? They've got, is it 5 levels for each weapon?
I think so.
Something like that.
I believe so.
The guy tells you pick it up,
Yeah.
and he'll tell you what level it is, but I can't focus
Right.
on any words or anything. I'm just shooting things. I'm just trying to
His
live.
voice is more legible than in classic Gradius and Salamander, but only barely.
Yeah. You get different ships. You got the Lord British Mark III.
Yeah.
Of course. Vic Viper Type L. And then you can unlock Gray Layer, which I don't know what the fuck that's from.
Either.
Is it just a new
I
ship
think
entirely?
It's a new one.
Or is it from a different game in the series?
I should have looked that up, but it had not even occurred to me. So no, it is from Gradius Gaiden,
Oh yeah, I forget that existed.
which was the PS1 game. And
Yeah.
apparently it was previously called Jade Knight in that game, and it is called
That's a
Gray Layer in Salamander
Much cooler
3.
name than Gray Layer.
Yeah.
Quickly moving through the power-ups, you got speed up, stacks up to 5x. As usual, max speed is pretty difficult to play as. It's almost a trap as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I would not
I didn't
have-
mind max speed as much in Salamander 3 as I have in previous games, but that might have just been because I had unlimited credits.
Maybe. I wouldn't have minded some type of speed down power-up or something. Would have been kind of
Or
nice
a speed
to see.
limiter.
Yeah. You've got your two-way missiles.
Yeah.
You've got the traditional cyclone laser that shoots through walls. That's the one
Yep.
Saturn likes.
That's the Gradius laser.
You've got the ripple laser, which pierces enemies, which is the one that I like.
I do appreciate it a little more now that it does pierce enemies. That is nice.
Yeah. And then you've got the twin laser, which only Gray Layer can get, which is from Gradius 3, and it's just as shitty as it was in Gradius
Yep.
3. It's a shitty laser,
Yeah,
and it
it's the one
sucks,
you
and
skip.
why would I want this? I don't
Right.
understand why anybody would
I don't
want
know.
this.
That's a bad
But I
laser.
want to talk about the round laser, which is really exciting to me.
Yeah.
It kind of breaks the game in weird ways. So only Gray Layer can get the round laser, and it's like it comes out around you like a circle. So it's a 360 directional bubble that pops out.
Hmm.
And as you power it up, it gets bigger, and it makes some bosses and stages completely trivial.
I'm okay with this.
But then it makes other ones completely impossible.
Oh, no.
Because it doesn't go all the way out. It just comes out from your ship a little bit, so you have to be close to whatever it is you're hitting. And so what I think they want you to do is use it to get through the easy sections and then burst it away for the sections where it's useless.
Or use 2-player and have the other player have a different weapon.
Yeah, but then you got to have you got to go get another person, and
Right.
they're going to want food, so I got to buy them food, and then
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have a house to put it
Right,
all
you gotta
in.
put 'em
So
in
I
a
gotta buy a
house.
You know, it's just,
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. But I was excited to see the round laser. It's weird for a Gradius thing. Gradius is usually very much like, we'll give you a little bit of ways to attack in different directions, but for the most part, you're attacking forward.
Right.
Or giving up a lot of power for like the front and back shot that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's multiples, up to 4. They can change formation whenever you get a different little formation change power-up thing.
Yeah, which is neat.
And then there's the force field, which can be upgraded by getting multiple force fields to where you have a force field on each side of you.
Oh, you can get up to 4 sides. It took me off guard when I got that. And,
yeah, I only knew because I saw it in a video. I'm not good enough to ever come across 2 force fields in one, like at the same time.
I got up to 3 at one point.
Holy shit.
Before I died, and then never was able to get even a single force field again for the rest of the game. But it was really neat because I did not expect for the other. I thought it was just going to recharge my force field like it normally does, but then it just like popped up on top of me. I was like, oh, it goes different directions.
Yeah, and on the side, because I saw the little thing, and it was like force field, and it had a front, back, top,
Yeah.
bottom, and it was like front, and I was like, well, it's always in the front unless you get the
Right.
little other kind. So what does that mean? And then I saw in a video someone had 4.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So let's talk stages, which is mostly to talk bosses, but the stages themselves are also cool.
Yeah.
The first stage is kind of your standard starting salamander stage. There's the little thorny things that come out, and there's lots of muscle tissue and goop to shoot through, and it's all kind of gross and
Right.
salamandery.
Yeah.
I do like the boss here, because the boss looks like it's going to be a big brain, like from the end of Gradius, but then a souped up version of the standard Gradius boss, like bursts in from behind you, and you have to go around it and then fight that, which is cool. Stage 2 is your first vertical stage, which is just asteroids. There's huge asteroids everywhere, and you got to shoot them. The boss here is I call him Gradius boss guy. I don't know the name of the standard Gradius boss where you shoot the little core.
You shoot the core, yeah.
Yeah, so I just call him Gradius boss guy.
That's his name.
And he shows up, but this time he's got arms that hold and throw asteroids, which is cute. And each of his arms is a smaller little Gradius boss, which is all very fun. Stage 3 is a grassy stage, kind of reminiscent of Gradius Stage 1, but the volcanoes shoot eyeballs because it's salamanders, so everything has to be gross.
Yeah.
Which weirdly gives way to Roman ruins area with like falling platforms and pillars and stuff, which was cool and thematically kind of different feeling for one of these games.
Yeah.
And the boss is 2 weird eyeball shooting head things that shoot across the screen at you. Which are very annoying.
This is the boss that gave me
guys.
the biggest problem. Apparently, the Gradius boss guy, his name is Big Core Mark 1.
That's I can't tell if my name is stupider or better.
I prefer Gradius boss guy.
Yeah, all right, Gradius boss guy it is.
Yeah.
The next stage 4 is a vertical stage. It's the Moai stage with all kinds of Moai, different sizes and types, and it's just the whole level is Moai heads.
Right, yeah. Which is standard for a Gradius game.
Sure. And then the boss is a 3-stage Moai that shoots Moai being controlled by a miniature Moai.
Yeah.
Because, yo, dog, I heard you like Moai, so we put Moai in your Moai.
Yeah.
It's so many layers deep.
Yeah. It's cute.
Which
I appreciate
it was cute.
lean
And then
into
when
that.
you kill the tiny head inside the big head, it like screams. It was all just it was cute and fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun level. Stage 5 is your sort of standard salamander gravitational field level where there's big orbs that have gravitational fields, which sucks. And there's lots of vertical scrolling as you move sideways. The boss is a big Gradius guy with 2 ball things that it kind of slams around at you.
Yeah.
Which, boring.
Didn't they also
boring.
have cores that you had to shoot?
No, that was the stage 2 guy.
Oh, okay.
His hands had cores.
Right.
This guy was just orbs.
Yeah, that's right.
Stage 6 is the spaceship assault level covered in pink goop with a Gradius guy covered in pink goop that throws things like the level 2 as a mid-boss.
Yep.
And then the final boss is a weird polygonal-looking orb that fires Gradius dragons of varying colors.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And fun. And I think it talks to you, but I couldn't tell what any of the fucking shit was saying.
Yeah, the
it's
robot
like, I'm going
voice
to punish
never
you or
makes
some
any
shit.
sense.
Yeah. And then, of course, in traditional fashion, the final area is the evacuation. You know the drill. You got to get the fuck out of the fucking thing before you die. And then that's Salamander 3.
Yeah, which I thought was fine.
I like it. It's very bullet helly.
Yeah.
In some sections. And I don't know. It's extremely tough. It's a very tough game.
But it gives you unlimited credits.
It does give you unlimited credits, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I really would have loved the training modes and the easy modes and invincible modes for this because I
just
would
wanted
really
to
love
rewind.
Yeah, even just rewind. Honestly, even just training so I can really spend some time with the sections of this game that give me trouble would be so nice.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool to get a new Salamander game this many years later. I mean, if you told us 5-6 years ago, they're like, yeah, they're going to make a Salamander 3 and M2 is going to do it. We'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Really, the
so
idea of Konami making video games felt pretty weird 5 years ago.
Yeah, that felt pretty weird 5 years ago to begin with, But I really wish they would have included those tools With
Right.
Salamander 3, it's really kind of frustrating to me that they didn't.
Yeah.
But as far as just being a Salamander game, I don't. I think it fits well. I think it fits
Yeah.
well in the trio of Salamander games, and I think it's a good Salamander game. The first one is just too pure and good. I love that game. It's probably my favorite of the three. The second one I think gets a little too hateful at times.
There's apparently a fourth Salamander game.
There's a Salamander 4?
Well, no, it was called Solar Assault, but it's
Oh.
part of the Salamander series. It was on PS1.
Why would they call it Salamander 4? Did they?
Well, no, it was way before 3, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been called for.
Yeah, but so then this would be Salamander
Yeah,
4,
this
and
would
that
have
would
been
be
the fourth
Salamander
one.
3.
Right.
That's just confusing.
Yeah. It wasn't received as well, so it didn't
Yeah.
make the cut.
So I don't know. I think I like it better than 2.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as weird as 2. It feels very I don't want to say safe, but very like, hey, look at us, where we remember. It's like member berries, like remember this from Gradius, remember this from Gradius, which
It does feel
is
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it fits. It fits for the collection. It makes
Yeah.
sense for kind of an
Right.
anniversary game.
Like if this
because
had
I think
been
it's
released as a standalone game called Salamander 3, yeah, I'd be a little disappointed with it. But since
Yeah.
it was just included in this collection of classic Gradius and Salamander games, I think it fits pretty well. I'm okay with it.
So as Rebirth 2, I think it's pretty good because I think it really fits with the Rebirth theme of like, hey,
Definitely.
this is, do you remember that old game?
Right, yeah.
And here is some stuff from that. So I think in a weird way, in my head, knowing that it was supposed to be Rebirth 2 makes it kind of fit better,
Right.
if that makes sense. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I played through it a couple times, and I watched single credit runs so that I could feel completely inadequate as a video game player,
Yeah.
and it was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. But as far as we kind of already covered the whole collection, as a whole,
Yeah.
and the whole collection, including Gradius or Salamander 3, it's kind of the best way to play these games.
Yeah.
I will say for people that aren't Gradius or Salamander fans, these are really, really hard games.
Yeah. I still say that of all the ones in the collection, Gradius 3 is the hardest. That one is still just an unfair game.
I had always heard from fans that was the hardest, and playing, and now in my head, I'm like, what, the one with all the slowdown that makes it easier?
Oh,
and
you
they're not
played the
wrong.
Super
It's-
Nintendo version.
Well, no, even the arcade version gets some slowdown.
True, some.
Not as much as the Super Nintendo version.
Right.
Super Nintendo version's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there's some really fucking mean games,
Yes.
which makes me really appreciate the few training modes and stuff they did put in here.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. If you already are a fan, you don't need us to tell you to get this version.
Right, yeah.
You've already got it. But if you're
Right.
like, hey, I'm looking for Gradius games, go into it knowing that they're really fucking hard and plan to use rewind and quick saves. But I think I thought it was a great collection.
So, yeah, it's a fun collection of them. I think that all of them are presented well, and there's just enough like museum-y kind of stuff to it that makes it feel like a proper M2 collection.
I looked through some of the art and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
fun to see it.
Yeah.
I was frustrated. They had one section that's like a guide, the guide for Gradius, and I was like, oh, is this going to be like strategies or something? That would be really cool. Because like God, what was it? Blaze Blue on PS3 came with a DVD of character strategies that you could sit and watch.
Weird.
And I remember thinking that was the coolest thing. I was like, I would love it if a game came with just like a video of like, hey, here's some strategies and tips and stuff. But you open it and it's just the point values for each enemy in Gradius.
Right.
And I was like, in what way is this a guide?
It teaches you how to
Point. Who the fuck cares about
your
points
score.
in Gradius? What is,
But Justin, you need to get the high score.
I
How
just
else-
want to survive.
How else are people going to know that Ass is the greatest Gradius player of all time?
Did you? I did not test if you could type ass without them turning it into the
I don't
default
remember.
letters or not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. On Salamander 3, I forgot to do that.
Oh, I didn't even try on Salamander 3.
Yeah, because I always check to see if they'll let you put dirty words in those,
Yeah.
because sometimes they'll default them to the default
true.
name if you put in a dirty
Yeah.
word. The pro tip for anyone wanting to put dirty words and high scores on arcade games: a word that they almost never censor, because they always get ass, and they'll
Yeah.
often get damn, but they never get cum.
Yeah, they usually don't get cum.
So just throwing it out there, if you want to put a dirty word in an arcade machine, go for cum. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So they don't ever censor that
How
one.
many other 3-letter dirty words are there?
You could do dick without the C.
Yeah.
You could do
tit.
You could do tit. You could do fuck without the U.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of a stretch.
Or fuck without the C.
Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. FUK. That's a good one. Yeah, that one gets censored sometimes too.
Does.
Never come. Come always makes it. Anyway, it's a good Gradius collection. It's fantastic. It's if you like Gradius, it's very fun. I will say sitting down and playing multiples of these games back to back is exercise in frustration and futility. And recognizing my own limitations as a human.
I'm hoping that it's followed up with a new Parodius collection with a new Parodius
that would
game.
Be nice.
That would be so great.
Oh, that would be so nice. I would love it. And God, if M2 did it, it'd be fantastic.
Well, M2 did the PSP Parodius collection, so
it'd be nice.
Yeah,
it'd be really nice.
Right.
I do want to say I don't know if it will still be up when this goes out, so please forgive me if it's not. But VGP just posted their limited run games stock for the physicals of this. If you didn't want to buy directly from LRG, then they've at the time of recording on the 23rd of October, they've got it in stock. So,
I think it's like $45 on VGP, and you can get
it was
any
45
of the different covers.
Canadian dollars.
That was US dollars, I thought.
Oh, it was 45 US dollars.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. But they've at the time of recording, they have a bunch in stock of all of the different covers. So maybe you can snag one if it's something you're interested in.
Indeed.
But it kind of is the be all end all for Gradius collections. There it kind of is nothing to beat this.
Right. Yeah, it's $46.46 USD.
Okay, I don't think that's terrible for the amount of game here.
No.
At all, especially being easily the definitive. It feels almost silly to be like, oh, it's an M2 collection. It's the definitive way to play this, but it's just kind of their thing.
Right. That's what they do.
But yeah, as far as the definitive way to play Gradius, I think it's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good thing. Also, the definitive way to listen to this podcast is patreon.com/retro warriors, where you can get the definitive Talking Wizards and the definitive uncut version of this definitive show. And you can give us
I need to find out what the definitive Talking Wizards is.
I think the consensus is that it's the episode entitled British Cat Dog. I think that's the broad consensus for any new patrons that are like, which is the best Talking Wizards? The answer is none of them. They're horrible things.
I meant what is the definitive mix of Talking Wizards?
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know.
When you listen to it on a Engage.
Right, on your Taco Talk.
Yeah.
We want to thank the following patrons for giving us money, starting with Adam Williams.
And Alexander VG.
Andy.
Grover and Simba.
Brian Kim.
Charles G.
Chris Courage.
Gassy, but with a 3 instead of an E.
Craig Cargill.
And Dan, the longtime listener and frugal consumer.
I appreciate frugality in my consumers.
It's important. The vital
skill. I saw some interview with some CEO the other day, and he was talking, I don't even remember what stupid business it was for, but he was like, yeah, consumers are smart. You gotta, consumers these days are so smart. And I'm like, are we? I don't know. Sometimes.
Have you looked at how many subscription services we have?
Have you seen the kind of stuff that's selling out there? I'm just not sure, man. I'm not sure if I agree with your position.
Press X to doubt.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Thank you for listening. And as always, let us cling together.